Welcome everybody to the Minerva Birmingham Pitch Up, the final event. I hope you've enjoyed today's session. It's the first time we've done it, so apologies for the challenges one may have faced, but I'm sure you can all appreciate these things can be a rapid educational circle. So what we're going to do today is the last part is to tell you the winners. But what we're going to do is the order of ceremony is going to be, we'll announce the winners shortly, so hold on there. The winners are to pitch again. We're going to have the panel give us feedback, and the way we're going to do it is the panel is going to give an opinion of each individual company together with a question. We'll take it in first name alphabetical order. Ben's kindly agreed to join us again, so we really appreciate that, together with the other panel members. And then we have the audience vote, and the winner will be announced. Ben's going to announce the winner, so I hope Ben's set up with his WhatsApp and can see when the winner's decided, and we'll do that by a poll, which will be run by Kate. So the winners are, from the semi-finals, are Figaro Analytics and LoveWriting. Okay, so hopefully, the panel members, we have Ben Francis, who you've already heard from. We have Aanisah Begg from head of Minerva. She's stand correct. So I'm conscious of some feedback I'm trying to overcome. So we have Aanisah Begg, who is head of structured investment at West Midlands Combined Authority, and has a lot of experience in terms of investment nowadays in Midven. Liz McKenzie, who's a Minerva investor, and she's also vice chair of the West Midlands Growth Company. Liz has been very active. If anybody's got the microphone in the background, it may be helpful to switch it on, please, so we can stop the feedback. That might be happening. Rohallah, Ghasemi works with SFC, which is a very active investor. They've recently gained 10 million from the British Business Bank in a co-angel investment fund, very active in the West Midlands region. Rohallah is also an entrepreneur himself. So what we're going to do is I'm going to stop sharing now, and hopefully we can have the panelists who will be able to share. Okay, so could I ask Figura if you could please load your presentation on and start to share. And again, for people in the background, if you could switch off your mics. Figura, are you there?
Yeah, I'm just about to put it up now.
Okay.
Hopefully you can see that.
Yes, we can.
Great. I will start if that's okay with you.
Do you want to put it on full slide view?
Yeah. Great. Well, good afternoon, everyone. It's a pleasure to be here. I want to start by asking you just to think about the last soft drink that you enjoyed. Maybe you're even enjoying it now. The manufacturers of that drink test every batch. They do so to ensure it tastes as good to you today as it did the first time you had it, and it will do tomorrow. Now, similar tests are done by every manufacturer on every drink, be it smoothies to juice to carbonated beverages and flavoured waters. And it's not just about ensuring brand quality and consistency, which is important because it can wipe out millions from the value of that company. They also have tests forced on them by regulators to ensure that it's safe to drink, specifically looking at microorganisms and to ensure that there's no contamination. So Figaro Analytics was created to revolutionize the testing of drinks. It produces a platform for manufacturers and distributors and a quick and inexpensive way to recognize and monitor quality of their formulations, to detect contamination, and where needed, have the trace analysis to be able to quantify the contamination to meet regulatory requirements. Now, our technology is easy to adopt and implement on the factory floor for at-line testing. And also, like competitive technologies, we can operate on a range of samples, regardless of their color, texture, often an ability to screen everything, give a unique ability to monitor consistency. And where there is variation in their formulation, give targeted tests to monitor and detect bacteria, yeast or fungi bespoke to that user and manufacturing line. It gives reassurance within 30 minutes and a rapid test within an hour. And if you compare that to the current processes, that could be anywhere between 3 to 5 days to get those same results back. Figura allows us to monitor this production line in new ways. Now, worldwide, predicted costs for measuring microbiology alone by 2025 in the food and drinks industry was over 7 billion. And the equipment sold to service that market in 2018 was valued at about 3 billion. And at home in the UK, of the 14 billion litres of soft drink manufactured in 2019, is estimated 0.5 billion spent on microbiology tests alone. And that value doesn't include the other tests and costs associated with just monitoring the consistency and quality. Now, our platform was developed from Loughborough University, where we span out. And as a platform, we explored different markets through an Innovate UK funded market research from healthcare and environmental analysis. All received positive feedback. But our market research showed us that there was a real keen and eager pull from the drinks industry. They're eager to adopt new technologies. This is our beachhead market. And as the company grows, there's great opportunity for us. As I said, we spun out from Loughborough University after years of research and development, and the concepts have been validated with partners already, demonstrating our ability to monitor flavour and formulations and spoilage in a whole range of different beverages. We've confirmed with them the need for low costs and easy on-site use technology, and we have strong support with them, offering a very clear value proposition. We've developed these with our partners, and we continue to develop them with our early adopters, increasing the stringency which we do these tests. And so we're working with them closely over the next few years. We're also working with the manufacturers and components suppliers of our kit to ensure that we can scale up mass production as we go into sales. We've secured an Innovate UK grant of £300,000 for 12 months, which just starts. And that helps us to develop and explore the manufacturing and scale up of our technology. And we continue to do this with our partners, dropping our technology onto the manufacturing lines to increase the stringency in which we're doing the tests, to improve the software and development of our product. We're looking to have early sales to adopters by the end of 2021, modest sales, which would lead then into more sales in 2022. And our process is to lease the equipment to the manufacturers, to remove any hurdles of procurement, have a regular monthly subscription cost to replenish consumables and maintenance, and have a pay-per-use license so that every time they make a measurement, a small revenue comes through, giving a consistent supply of revenue for the company. We are led and have been joined by Nick Whitehurst, our CEO, with decades of experience in the drinks industry and experience at raising funds for startups. He joined myself and Rush, who were the co-founders with Loughborough University, with years of experience in rapid diagnostics and measurements. And we're supported by our non-exec directors that have experience in sales and working in different markets, in materials characterization and stringency of making microbiological measurements. We also have with those a team of 2 full-time employees to do the measurements in the first years. And as we grow then, we'll grow that team. So starting in 2021, the Innovate UK allows us to start as a funding base to commercialise the proposition. And we can accelerate this further with additional funds. And we have funding rounds planned for the year. We've got great feedback from our initial case studies. And there's a great opportunity to accelerate our development as we move forward. As I say, early sales and modest sales by the end of 2021, leading to more sales in 2022. So in summary, Figura has gone through a rigorous process to validate all of our aspects. We've had incredibly, overwhelmingly positive support from the feedback. Funding is placed for us to develop that in the first year. I look forward to speaking to you and answering your questions. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Matt. So, panel, could we start with Aanisah? What did you feel about that, and do you have a question?
Yeah, sure. So well done, Mark. I thought it was a really good presentation. It was clear to understand the origins of your company in terms of the spin out and the market opportunity that you have. In terms of questions, can I understand a bit more about how you're going to use your Innovate funding and what your milestones are in terms of building up towards building revenue in 2021?
Yeah, and so a large part of it is going towards working with the manufacturing for design for manufacturing, so we know how to scale up the manufacturing process. We also have funds in place to de-risk with those early adopters so that we can cover, if need be, the cost of us going out onto the manufacturing plant line and running this side by side with the current processes. And that was agreed when we put in those bids. What we're actually in discussion with is co-funding those projects or funding them all together. And so some of that revenue will come back. And in that process of having it de-risked with Innovate is benefiting already because we're getting that strong buy-in from those early adopters. And so that Innovate process really walks us to the point where we develop it in detail on the manufacturing line and gets us at the point of scaling up the manufacturing process. And then dependent upon the extra investment we get, that will just be sped up, and we have those plans in place should we do so.
Ben, your comments and question.
That was really good. I love the presentation. I thought it was well presented. I might have missed this, but what's the key difference between this product versus competitors that you showed?
Yeah, it's great. So a lot of the innovation in the process has been about automating the existing technology. So people send a sample off and they grow the bacteria and then they count them 3 days later. And so there's a time involved in that, or is a sample process or preparation. Ours technology was developed so that you simply just inject the drink neat into the device. It looks for signs of microorganisms and then does a rapid test. And so it does that process within a day. And there's a 2-stage to it. They either get a look at the quality of what they've got. So if nothing's detected in terms of microorganisms, they get to see what their drink looks like on a consistent and regular basis. And if it flags something up, then we deliver the specific assays. And so it's a different way altogether of it doing it in the market.
That's sick. That's cool. And I've got one more question. How did you end up doing this? This seems like such a niche thing to do.
So actually the platform technology was designed for characterizing materials. What we do is characterize things suspended in liquids, and that can be blood, it can be river water, it can be whatever. It's a core platform. But so actually we explored a lot of different options, and it was the drinks industry that gave us the easy gateway. And so we could quite easily apply this to health technologies, but the drinks is a really eager market, and it's actually one for us to explore first. And so it's really just a core platform and so we did a lot of different things, as you said. This is where we started.
Can I ask another question or not?
Well, we're getting a bit tight for time, but we can always arrange it, Ben, if you want to follow on after. So, we really appreciate your time. Liz, your question, please, and comment.
Thank you, Mark. Really enjoyed that presentation. As a production engineer alumni from Loughborough, I understand the utopian nature of getting this kind of testing in line. And the step change you've made there is fantastic, from 3 to 5 days down to 30 minutes. That's brilliant. I'm interested in your customers' views on that and how you're progressing with building their return on investment case, because of their inventory reduction and their speed to market time must be vastly improved.
Yeah, and so in building up this value proposition with them, there's 2 stages. They first get to see, we generate revenue from just doing the screening process because we look at the quality of what they're making. And so they see the benefit of doing that measurement, and then they get that extra microbiology. And so, yes, there is surprisingly, there's a lot of pallets of drinks sat on shelves while they're waiting for tests. And there is a cost in that. It's not necessarily the biggest cost of overall, but the market will take these costs. They're enforced by law. They have to do it. And so they see the benefit of improving or where they can move it. And even the microbiologists that have been doing the same process for 40 years are eager to try different things out. And so it's a really interesting community to work with to offer it. And so they see the benefit of trying to get this embedded into their processes.
Right. Do you have information on how much actually they will reduce wastage as a result of the faster turnaround?
So if we can, so this will also, they have to screen, remember, all raw ingredients as well as the final process. And so if they screen those raw ones, then they'll be able to stop batches. Now, I don't know what the volume of that would be. That's an interesting question, even for the people we're working with, to tell us how many times it goes wrong or what the volume is. But the benefit of detecting things, even in the raw components as well as the final products, is clear to them. And those specific numbers of volumes and waste I don't have, I'm afraid.
Lovely, thanks.
Could we move on to Rohallah for your question and comments, please? And Mark, we're beginning to get pressed for time, so if you could be short and succinct, we'd appreciate it.
Thank you very much, Alex. Thank you, Mark, for the presentation. It was really great. My question is around the sort of your partners that you've got at the moment. So you've mentioned quite a few partners. Some of them are manufacturers. I wanted to know what's the relationship with them. Is any of the sort of Innovate funding going to them? Are they helping you just on the research side? Is there any sort of pilots, trials agreed with them, etc.?
So the Innovate money goes to Materials Technology Centre because they're developing it. In terms of the drinks, none of the money goes to them. We keep that. They've agreed to take us on and allow them access to sites. Some of them are actually talking to us now about paying for those. And so we keep all of that. That pays for our staff, our development of that in terms of the Innovate split.
Thank you very much, Mark. Greatly appreciated. Thank you, panel, for your questions and your insightfulness. And now could I ask LoveWriting, please, to upload the presentation, and away you go.
All right, guys. Hi, good afternoon, guys. Bear with me 1 second. I, unfortunately, was one of those people that had technology issues this morning. So, hey, it's not working for me again. Do you mind sharing, please?
We have your screen. Can you go to PowerPoint?
Oh, can you see it?
You share.
Yeah, we can see your screen. There you go. Well done. Excellent.
Oh, brilliant. It worked last time. Thank you, guys.
Yeah, there you go.
Okay. Hi, I'm Celinda, co-founder of the LoveWriting company. Imagine taking away a child's frustrations in their learning to write journey. Stats show up to 50% of children do not meet the literacy guidelines. And a lot of that is due to the fact children simply don't have resources that fit their hands correctly. COVID has further impacted this learning. LoveWriting company want to change those stats and want to take away those frustrations. A little bit about our journey. We launched via e-commerce back in August 2019 with 4 SKUs, which was a brand new concept, providing products that actually were made to scale to fit a children's hands. Shortly, we were quite quickly recognised as a top 50 innovator and won some design awards, and also became credited by the British Dyslexia Association. December 19, we launched via Amazon, and also launched our digital subscription service. By summer 2020, despite COVID, we had 13 SKUs, and with the summer now approaching, we have a planned launch with retail and schools as well. Again, all pandemic subject. So, can you remember your learning to write journey? Or do you have a child at the moment that is learning to write? We don't give a 4-year-old child an adult-sized bike to learn to ride with. We don't give them an adult-sized guitar to learn to play with. So why do we give them adult-sized writing pencils to learn to write with that simply don't fit their hands? So the solution, tools that make the challenge of learning to write easier. LoveWriting Co. have created a range of products scaled to fit children's hands that are fun and engaging, but we also designed complete packages. All parents want the best education for their children, and LoveWriting Co. are producing the resources. So a little bit about our products. All our products are FSC sourced. We have 2 ranges, 3 to 5 and 6 to 9. Our 3 to 5 range is dedicated to inspire learning right from the very start. So, and our 6 to 9 is all about progression to improve and help children learn to love writing, achieve better results, and also give them confidence. Our monthly subscription service is dedicated for the home learning market, which is a vastly growing market, especially at the moment with what's going on. So why LoveWriting? I was a single mum with very little money. I couldn't afford private tuition. I couldn't afford expensive products. I was always looking for products that would help my children. And what I found was there simply was nothing on the market that would make the process of learning to write and learning easier. Independent studies have shown 95% of children who use our products had improved writing from the very first use. Up to 80% of children were writing more words per minute, and 87% had a better grip and control. But the best feedback for us is our parents and our children. The community all come back to say the kids actually want to learn to write. So already I feel I have actually achieved something, that children are not put off by the task of writing. A little bit about the market size. The stationery industry is worth 131 billion. This is just the UK and the US market alone. In the UK, parents spend on back to school products 1.2 billion alone. And that is just the retail element. Then we also have the education sector. There are 23,000 schools and nurseries all looking for products that will help make the learning to write and learning journey better. A little bit about like our competitors. Where we're different, our USP, we're market leading as we provide both writing products and activities as complete packages, and no one else does that. A lot of our competitors will either produce the resources, the writing resources, or they'll produce the books. Nobody puts a fun and engaging product together, and nobody puts a complete package together. And we want to offer a premium range at affordable price, where some of our products start as low as £5. A little bit up for tea. There's me, Selenda. My background is, well, first of all, I'm a mum. So, you know, I remember the frustrations that my children had when learning to write. And also my background is in product design, sales, and also stationery design. My co-founder is Mark Sherwood, who was worldwide director of Saatchi & Saatchi. So together we've created a brand that helps children, but looks very eye appealing, and the children simply love to use it. We have some advisors that we can call at any time with all their different expertise, and e-commerce and retail are sort of where our strengths are. Right, a little bit about our revenue. So despite all the restrictions, in our first year of sales, we had a sales total of 152,000 with a gross profit of 98,000. And with 2021, we have a confidence in our growth, which we plan to do that with our USA Amazon launch. With the strengthening e-commerce market, we have more SKUs launching, and also we are looking to be in the retail space in the UK, again subject to you know, COVID. Right, what are we raising? We are SEIS, EIS approved. We're looking to raise 250k. So we want to improve our tech, we want to improve our e-commerce platforms, and that includes all our social media, raise awareness for the product, gain trust, and also increase sales. We also realise part of that is like key sales, and also making sure we keep innovating with our products. So part of that is our future program. We realise that, you know, tech is important. We're not tech, but tech is important. So we want to improve on our tech and grow. So future products include like a consumer app, and also a schools app. Children need to touch and feel, and that is an important part of the learning journey. So our 5-year plan is to improve children's learning journeys, to make a social impact, teach children to learn and write, and what we possibly see the exit being where a larger company would look to buy us out. So what I would say is we want to create our tomorrow's workforce, a more confident, happier children, and I'd love for you to be part of it. So thank you so much for listening to me, and any questions, I'd love to hear them.
Thank you very much for the presentation. Thank you. If you could stop sharing your screen, and if possible, put your video on so we can see you, because we always like to see the founders if at all possible. Thank you. So let's go in the reverse order this time. Rohallah, if you could give me your opinions and question, it would be greatly appreciated.
Thank you. Thank you, Sarlender, for the presentation. It was really great, really exciting company and the work that you guys are doing. So my question is around your sort of the sales route. How are you selling at the moment? Are you selling direct to consumers? Are you selling through schools? Like sort of just a little bit of context on your sort of sales routes.
Yeah, well, we initially launched via our e-commerce platform with the view to March 2020. We were due to launch like within schools and also within the retail space. Unfortunately, the pandemic stopped that. So what we've done is we've concentrated. So despite all the restrictions we faced, we've concentrated on the e-commerce and the Amazon platforms. We have a couple of smaller sort of direct partners that are looking to work with us too. As obviously a lot of the non-essential shops have been closed, it's been a little bit harder. But yeah, so what we've done is really concentrated in the digital subscription area, direct to the consumer, and also by Amazon.
Thank you for that. Liz, your turn.
Thank you. Thank you, Sarlender. What a fabulous mission. I love it. That's great. And very nice to see on your advisor list to see Mark featuring in another PitchFest final. So well done for Mark for picking companies with brilliant pitches. So I'm interested in how you're going to maintain your competitive position, because this is quite a busy market. The supermarkets are there, and it's kind of easy to get cheap stuff in this kind of market. So how are you going to maintain that brand position?
Yeah, so what we want to do is we want to offer a premium product, and like you said, there's a lot of products that are then cheaper than us, but they actually don't perform the function, which makes the learning to write easier for the children. So we are first in the market to create products that scale to fit children's hands. We're the first in the market also to create a complete package. So what we do is we have the writing resources, but then we also create fun and engaging books. And nobody else does that like either. So it's a case of keeping up with the innovation, staying first in the market, getting to the market quicker into the retailers, which obviously at the moment is pretty difficult with the market the way it is. But we're getting there, and we plan to just keep innovating and keep ahead.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you for that. And could I move on to you now, Ben, please? Your comments and your question.
Yes, the 152k revenue for this year, what was the split between Amazon and your website?
It was about, we concentrated on our e-commerce platform initially, and I would say for the first year it was like literally 75% e-commerce and only 25% was Amazon, which we've now grown Amazon quite a lot since like the first year.
Okay, that's amazing. And then do you have like a killer product? Like what's the main thing? You said you got 13 SKUs. Is that like, how does that work?
The killer product is like the 3 to 5 complete writing pack, which contains a set of writing pencils, erasable colouring pencils, 2 books that are just full of fun, engaging writing activities. Children don't realise they're actually writing; they just think they're having fun, and that's what we want to do.
I love it. I think you've got a great website, really good website. I had one more really quick question. I saw you had a 30 grand cost on Amazon for next year. I don't understand what that is.
Well, for the USA launch, so what we want to do is we were looking at, I've been approached by a few people in the US that I've been told that possibly the schools won't be won't be opening in the US until September. So we thought we pretty much could replicate our success via our e-commerce platform on our Amazon over at the US quite quickly. And we've had a few people approach us saying about getting the products in there. So that would be to have that's kind of there as a provision to put in for Facebook ads. If you want to launch e-commerce, it's more like a social and Facebook and Amazon ad spend.
Got it. Oh, Alex, you're on mute.
Thank you. The typical failure of a webinar, isn't it? I should be good at this. Thank you, Ben. Aanisah, your question, please, and comments. Greatly appreciated.
Yeah, so good presentation again. It was clear to follow. couple of questions. So one, timing on the US markets, you've alluded to the fact that schools are going back later, so you think there's an opportunity there. So be interesting to understand how you as a company are geared up for that, entering into the US market. And then also building on Liz's point, in terms of team, do you see it as complete at the moment? Do you think you need to make any hires? And if so, what's critical to your business at the moment?
Yeah, okay. First of all, like with the US, we're pretty confident in our e-commerce platform, and we're pretty confident where we are with our Amazon. We've really done a lot of testing. We know what the market is looking for. So for us to be able to replicate that in the US, we feel it's I'm not going to use the word easy because nothing's ever easy, but we feel that we're confident enough to be able to do it to a pretty good standard straight away. And the bearing in fact that we were a complete unknown concept, nobody has ever created products that scale to fit a children's hand, and we still managed to get to a certain point within the first year, our first launch, and we feel that we could do that. And also there is a demand for a product like ours in the US. So to do it by those two channels, which we're quite confident in, we think we could do that pretty well. And with regards to key sales, that's why I put a couple of people in. I feel if we were to sort of hire those appropriate people, and one of them would be, say, someone in the education sales market, all these schools and suppliers are always looking for products that can help and make a teacher's journey a little bit better, and we feel that we can do that. So having somebody who's in the education field as a sort of dedicated person, I think that would really help us in that market. And then also on the retail front, even though retailers are facing many challenges, they're still looking for products that are going to bring people back to their store when they're open. And I feel sort of ours are very eye-catching, vibrant. We can give them something new and innovative, and also with the industry and the schools being closed, children are falling behind. So now retailers are beginning to look for products that are going to make that difference and help and get people back into the stores when they're reopen again.
Well,
thank you. Thanks.
Thank you. Just went through a major IT glitch there. So thank you very much for that. So the next stage really is we're going to try and run a poll. Technically it should be quite simple, but again, since we've never done this, I'm sure you appreciate some of the technical difficulties we faced. Hopefully I'll be able to get you to see the slides I've got up. Hopefully you can see that. Can we see the slides? Can you see them, Ben? Yeah, okay.
On mute, yes.
Yes, great. One of the marvelous things about Hoover is it's running with Zoom in the background, but some of the things are quite a little bit challenging. So what we'd like you to do, please, is you've got to imagine you are the investor. So you sat there with your cash looking to make your tax saving, help a business grow, give something back. One of the many reasons that we get investors, for example, in Minerva, which I head up, coming to Long to invest. So try to pretend you're one of those. So you've got the money, you've got your ability to get your EIS tax back. That means of the money you put in, you're going to get 30% back. And think about which one of the opportunities you would like to vote. Now, under this system, there are two poll tags. Please go to the one on the left where it says the poll and click on there, and you should see the ability to vote. Now, Ben's got his camera on, so if you can see whether the poll is there and you have the ability to vote. We're not asking the panel to vote, but Ben can perhaps tell us whether it's working. You're on mute, Ben.
Oh my God, sorry.
It's all right, we all do it.
I can only see the slide.
So hopefully we can see that.
No, I can literally I can't see any poll.
Yeah, on the left-hand side. Okay, so it seems that we can't see polls. So is anybody else there can see a poll? So I'm going to stop sharing so I can see the chat box, just to make sure it's not an aberration. No.
Alex, I'm sorry. I think we might have to go with a live poll. If you just give us 2 seconds to set that up.
Okay, so if we're not able to get the poll function working.
It's working, but it throws people out of the setting. So don't anybody else.
So well. Okay, so what we can.
Alex,
Yep.
I've just added a poll to the poll. It's a live poll, as Kirsty has suggested. So people in the group, if you have a look at the to the right of the screen, you have polls chat community, and there is a poll there now.
Okay, did everybody get that? We seem to be getting some feedback. And it may be people with microphones on in the back. Okay. Are we good? Yeah, we seem to get people working. I can't actually see the polls. I'm going to depend on Kate and others to tell me what the answer is. Whoa. If you've got your microphone on, could you please switch it off? Okay. Do we have a result yet?
This is Kate. I've just unmuted myself. There is 55 responses to the poll, so we'll just give it a couple more minutes. Give it a minute just to let everyone find it and have the option to pick their winner.
Okay. I'm getting terrible echo on my side and feedback. Okay, a little bit of feedback as well from the panel. So I hope you can hear this again. If you've got your microphone open, could you please shut it? I also seem to have somehow 2 of my cells, which is an interesting proposition. So basically, the initial feedback that we got is that for Figura, from the other panel members, they were a lot further on in the marketplace. And they thought they were through, in terms of the service development, a lot further. They've got a CEO from the Dix industry, so that was the main reason behind picking them. Whereas for LoveWriting, the panel thought it was an opportunity which we had lots of traction, some sales already, Ben pointedly discussed that as well, which was great. And we also got some evidence of sales, so with some validation of the proposition, which is often a very good indication of the viability of a business. So do we have our result yet, Kate?
Hi, Alex. We are just communicating the result across to Ben to announce. So thank you for your patience, everyone.
Okay, good. So while we've been doing this, we've obviously been learning quite a lot. It's not a system that you can pick up unless you actually do it. So appreciate for everybody's understanding. It is our attempt at giving you the best virtual session we possibly can. And I really appreciate your patience. We've had really good attendance to this, over 200 to the initial speeches. We've had over 120 to the pitch events. And the final, we're currently standing at 120. So it's great support. One of the things we do have in the West Midlands and the Midlands in general is that we need our investor support and we need to support our companies. If we look at the stats, as Ben even alluded to in his excellent introductory talk, the pull down south is a major factor in moving companies down south. But Ben's unusual, you see, because frequently entrepreneurs move down south, they then settle down south, and then become investors down south. So it's great to see that Ben has true heartland for the West Midlands and true support in terms of Gymshark, what they've done, his contribution, his expertise that he has, which one will hopefully be able to share as he goes through his career and help develop his business. And entrepreneurs such as Ben make a fantastic contribution to the economy. But all their experiences is also as valuable as any funding or finance support that they can give. And I hope you found Ben's journey very insightful. So while we wait for the final results to be collated, I think the other thing that we'd like to say is to thank everybody who's participated in this, and the Venturefest organisers together with the team, which I'll touch on later, because I can assure you we're like ducks paddling like mad underneath the water, both in terms of how we've delivered this, the work that's gone behind it, the workshop that's been done, the applications that have been reviewed. And we appreciate those companies that come to us and present their pitches, because we do have a good success record in terms of investing in the West Midlands. Of course, we need a lot more of investors to come forward and help support these ventures. My job is all about trying to get investment for companies, and we see over 320. We don't see enough from the West Midlands, and even though Minerva Business Angels is one of the largest angel networks in terms of operating groups, you know, we'd love to see more investors from within the Midlands and also more companies. It's been an excellent group of finalists, and hopefully we'll be able to announce it. Are we there?
Yes, we are. We're good.
Good. Ben, it's over to you to tell us who the winner is. Pity I can't do a drum roll, but I'm not that IT savvy.
You can try. No, genuinely, it was absolutely great to hear both of the pitches. I thought they were both absolutely brilliant. But I just want to give a huge congratulations to the winner and that is Figura Analytics. Well done. Congratulations. It was a brilliant pitch, and yeah, I think it's deserved. So congrats.
Thank you very much for that, Ben. Thank you very much for the panel. Just a few final slides to finish off with, just to basically tell you about the team, tell you about what we've done. So hopefully you can see that. This is the award that they will be given, but I wanted to say a thank you to the people who've been running behind us, the people who've been helping solve the polls, the people who've been running the workshop. We're often said, because basically we have 3 universities here involved, Aston, Birmingham and Warwick through its science park. And what people don't realise is that universities aren't just institutions and academia and stuffy-nosed professors or people who focus on blue sky thinking. We're people who help deliver real change, real difference, and we've come together to deliver Minerva Birmingham Pitch Up, to take through your workshops, to support pitches, to help raise investment. Minerva Business Angels, which, as I said, I ran, has been going since 2010, but we started in 1994, and we've supported 129 companies. So through this group, which is university-led, we're helping support entrepreneurs, raise finance, and also get investors, investor savvy, learn about the tools of the trade in terms of investors. And everybody thinks an investor's some sort of multimillionaire, but I can assure you that most of the investors are people who want to give back. They don't necessarily invest a lot of money. It can often be £5,000 or £10,000, sometimes slightly more. But what they give is great talent, great expertise, and great help. So again, we're very lucky in the West Midlands to have such a collaboration delivering this event, which happens nowhere in the UK. So we're very fortunate in that respect. And we're very fortunate in the people who've come forward, on all our panelists, on all the guest speakers through Venturefest. Venturefest provides windows to the world of finance activity in the West Midlands. We appreciate West Midlands Combined Authority support, and they've been very active in terms of helping us deliver this. They've been very active in the background. So thank you to all the West Midlands Combined Authority support that we've had. And it's just really for me to say that this is the wrap up of today's events. We try to keep it tight because we realize that webinars have gone a lot and people get webinar fatigue. So we wanted to keep that tight. But we wanted to thank everybody who's attended, everybody who's come along, everybody who supported. Many people have helped us deliver this, too many to mention, to be honest with you, and it's been a great West Midlands collective effort. In terms of moving back to face-to-face, fingers crossed, Venturefest will return in October together with Minerva Birmingham Pitch Up, and where we'll have a face-to-face, maybe even a blended mix. Now we've learned a little bit how to use Hoover, and there has been a very steep learning curve. So at this point, I'd like to bring the session to a close. Thank you all for your attendance and kind support from the panel and everybody who's helped us deliver this today. So thank you very much indeed. So on that note, you can keep connecting through the Hoover page, as Pam has pointed out. We've tried very much to have that ability to connect in a quasi-networking event, although we appreciate the difficulties. So enjoy your lunch, have a great time. For those who want to find out more about Venturefest, Minerva Birmingham Pitch Up, Minerva Business Angels, or any of the other university activities, Birmingham, Aston, and the University of Warwick Science Park, basically Minerva is under that umbrella, please use the website to find out more. Okay. Speak to you all soon. Hopefully see you again in October. And thanks very much to everybody involved.